What's up, everyone? It's trapping season, first day. If you can't understand me, it's because I just recently had mouth surgery, and apologize for that. But we got up to our first location here. We already have a bunch of anchors in the road down along here and other spots that we'll go to, but right here below the camera there's a good indication that they're constantly coming through here. So we decided to put another anchor in the road here, and should have just went with a double rebar stake, but we'll rehook to this in the future. Them chained anchors seem to last a couple years in the ground. So and the property owner don't mind here. This is just a quarry, so that being in the road like that ain't gonna bother their equipment or nothing. But if you're trapping like farmland and that, and they're gonna be rototilling it, be kind, get your anchors out of there. They don't want that stuff getting wrapped up in there, especially the chained ones. But we weren't recording when we started the set, and then we're like, well, why don't we just show how ridiculous we get whenever we pound anchors into some of the most ridiculous stuff. I mean, this, well, it's a solid quarry road. It's just solid stone. I've already been beaten on this to get it like 4 inches down in there. Once I hit like 6-8 inches, I'll call it fine. You're never pulling that back out of there. That's a 4-pound hammer. Oh, I don't know about getting her out. There, look at that. That's when you know you got nice stuff. Still straight, no mushroom, no nothing. Set that anchor. Like I said, that's in the road. That is solid stone the whole way down, probably for 2 feet or more when they build the road up. That anchor's that's an 18-inch stake. So that anchor is literally only like 8 inches in the ground, and it'll hold all day. Now, trying to bed a trap in this is really, really hard, but it's a really good location. So really try not to pass it up. So I'm just gonna try to get it bedded the best I can. And when it's like really, really hard ground like that, I try to get this to where it's gonna stabilize itself, and I'll use rocks under that jaw and everything, and then I'll do my final covering on it. I just don't want it to rock. So if you like wedge some rocks in there underneath your jaws, you can avoid that. Like right there, got rid of that rock and that rocking in that corner, but now this corner and this corner is going to cause it to rock. So this is not your normal setting procedure, but it does work if you want to get sets in some tough spots. And I would use a drag here, but right there in front of the Jeep, if you catch an animal and it tries to go in the cover on that big scrap metal pile, that's gonna really tear some stuff up, and also tear the animal up if they by chance took the drag that way. So just not worth it. I don't mind. It's a little extra work here, but it'll work out. There, see, I got them rocks stuffed under there. No movement whatsoever on that trap. This trap's gonna drain really, really well. It'll take water like nothing. Since it's not rocking at all, the majority of the covering on this will be peat moss, with just a light dusting of this, because this is really, really stony. So I don't want that getting caught up into the jaws by putting a bunch of it over there. And I don't know if I pointed this out in any of my other videos, but you definitely don't want that peat moss on these surfaces. That's gonna really gum up, because if this gets damp, it will stick to that metal really, really good. And you don't want it on top of the pan, because it's gonna be soft compared to the rest of the ground that you're about to make real hard. So you don't want them to feel that fluctuation under their feet. It kind of makes them start pointing their attention towards other things than your attractant. Keep an eye where that pan is. This was a 650, so they're not too bad whenever you got these small, tiny little rocks in there. They got a nice debris gap in them. Now, if the rock gets stuck between the lugs, which can happen, it definitely gonna hinder the traps firing and closing. But I'm more than confident we've caught coyotes and bobcats on this road doing this exact thing. I think the key is, if you're in like really, really rocky stuff, don't put a ton of covering on there. That way that trap, when it fires, it'll throw it all up easier than if there's like a 1/2 inch covering there. Like you can see here, there's my pan already. So about a 1/4 inch of covering there. All right, I'm gonna leave this as open as I can, because the tracks and the scats already naturally coming right past this, so this does not need to be big and fancy. The main attractant, not even gonna mess with anything on it. It's gonna be real simple here once we get this stuff picked up. And this is the first trap of the day, so moving a little slower. Got to get the rust knocked off, so to say. We're going to take some ring burner here. Todd Strohecker's lures. Other than the baits and urine, that is all I'm going to use. It's a quality lure. If you're on location and you got this at the set, they're coming to it. I gotta get that unblocked there. just gonna dip a stick in there, and I'm just gonna tuck it up there. And a little is a lot. You saw I opened that really, really slow there, because how that bottle's bowed in. She's taking a different, I don't know if it's like humidity or from where I live to where we're trapping. It would have squirted right up at me if I would have just popped her off real quick. But lure stick's right there, tucked up in there. A little bit of urine on that. We're good, we're done. That's the set. You got the sign. You got the set right on the sign. That's the most important thing. There is no lure or bait that is going to make that animal go 30 feet over there if it's not already there. I'm a firm believer in that. That they are just not going to go to it. They are not that hungry out here. So the further you stay away from where they are, the more and more frustrated you're going to get when you constantly drive up here every day and see new tracks and nothing in your traps. So this is the first set. That knocked the dust and the rust off of the equipment and myself, so we're gonna go up the hill, put in a couple more sets, and we'll catch you up there putting them in.